Ladies and gentlemen, 11-year NBA vet, future coach, Austin Rivers.
Yeah.
Boom. Basketball, 4 games, it's over.
Really?
What the hell? What the hell's going on, Austin?
Man, oh man, this has been it's been tough to watch. Surprising, even. I thought Dallas would actually put up a fight, considering how hot Luka and Kyrie were as a duo going into this series. It's been crazy to watch.
Yeah. So is it just that the Celtics are the best? Like, I try to listen to people that are smart at basketball, and they say Celtics are just the most talented team, the best team. Is that because they have the best players? Is it because they have the best discipline, the best plays? What does that mean whenever people say that they're just the best team? Because obviously we're watching it, but I'll look down and it feels like the Mavericks are playing good. And I'll look at the score. Yep. Celtics are still up 8 somehow. It's like, what are we witnessing from the Celtics team that makes them so good for somebody that maybe doesn't know all the inside bullshit?
Yeah, well, I mean, for one, they're a team that is a high-level team on both sides of the ball. They defend just about as good as anybody in the NBA, not to mention they're a high-powered offense. And then when it comes down to it, Pat, honestly, they're just a better team in terms of depth. If we take the top 7 players in this series, 5 of them would be Boston guys. You know what I mean? They're role players. I don't even like to call them role players. You know what I'm saying? Like, Drew Holiday's considered a role player for the Celtics, but he's playing on Team USA this summer. They have really good players, man. He has Derek White, Drew Holiday, Porzingis, Al Horford. They're a really talented team. They're very well coached. Mazzulla's a guy that I think is underrated in terms of just how much of a brainiac he really is. There's a reason why they took him from behind the bench and put him on the front of the bench just like that, because I think they knew what they had. And right now they are locked in. They've heard the noise of all of us talk about them not being able to get over the hump. They've heard the noise of them saying that they've underachieved. And last year they lost to Miami. Remember, they got bumped out, which was very surprising. So I think all of these things collectively are why we're seeing the Celtics in just top form right now.
I enjoy watching them. Now, obviously, when they beat the Pacers, it wasn't fantastic, but they never seemed to panic. There was always a sense of maturity and control and patience and everything. They're this older group, but they're all young, right? Austin, this is potentially possible for the next 4 or 5 years together, this team.
That's the scary thing is this team's not going anywhere. Yeah. They're going to be right back here next year. Jason Tatum's eligible to sign a $315 million deal this summer. A 5-year deal, all guaranteed.
Trevor Lawrence just signed for $275, and we're so jacked up.
Yeah.
$315.
That's a lot of money, man.
And that's all guaranteed.
All guaranteed.
Full.
Yeah.
And it's worth it.
Massachusetts taxes, though, crazy.
Yeah, they're not.
They're a little high. They're not Florida. I can tell you that much.
Yeah,
Trevor's sitting over there with zeros. Yeah, zero income tax here in Florida. So that's nice. But yeah, the Celtics are loaded, and they're young, and they're not going anywhere. And the most impressive thing is Tatum and Brown have come together as a duo. They didn't let all this talk, even Jason Kidd's comments, all these comments of Jaylen Brown being better and Tatum's not this or that, or you can see Tatum's not forcing anything. He's playing the right way. He's making passes. He knows his team's loaded. It's not even about him proving anything. They're just here to win games and win a ring. And he said that in many of his press conferences. He's like, when I scored a lot and we lost, y'all called me a loser. And now I'm not scoring enough, but we're winning, and now I'm not scoring enough. He's like, so what do you want from me? So I love where Boston's at. I love where their 2 leaders are at. Jaylen Brown's been fantastic. He'll probably win Finals MVP. So we'll see.
Tatum said we'll win, and then everybody's going to ask us about what's going to happen next year, so we'll have to do it again or whatever. It's they've embodied that everybody's against us, that bunker mentality. I assume Joe Mazzulla has helped with that because somebody told a story that when he won Coach of the Month or whatever, and somebody congratulated him. Oh, yeah. Hey, congrats on winning Coach of the Month. And he said, nobody cares. And they just walked away. It's that's a tough mentality and mindset to live with on a daily basis. But boy, it makes for a great coach.
Yes,
never get content. Ever get content. Connor's got a question for you, Austin.
Yeah, Austin, a lot of, I saw some sports shows this morning kind of talk about, does this finals mean more to Tatum, Jaylen Brown, or Joe Mazzulla? Which, I would like to hear what you think about that. But also just looking at the series from a whole, Luka was the story after Game 3, and you mentioned how, Tatum scored 31. No one really gives a shit because instead of, harping on that, they're harping on the other side again with Luka. How can guys like Luka get better on defense? Is there a way, and obviously this is going to happen overnight, but in the offseason, there were highlights of Drew Holiday, and he's working on closeouts and blocking shots and things of that nature. But how can that happen? Because clearly Luka is good enough to take take teams to the finals. Obviously, he did it this year, a few years ago in the bubble, and then against the Suns a couple years ago as well when they were down 3-1. Like, he's good enough, but how does that last aspect of the game kind of come together for him? And also on the other side of the ball with the Celtics, has it always been the strategy against the Mavs every year, like, hey, just go at Luka because he's not going to be able to, do what he does on offense and defense the entire game?
Yeah, those comments by Brian Wendy were fair. In terms of the aspect of him saying, Luka can't win a championship like this, I don't agree with that because they're in the finals. They're 4 wins away from winning a ring. So clearly what he does, warrants winning. Now, to get over that hump and be a guy who's winning rings and multiple rings and being a champion, he does have to improve his defense. He gets targeted all game. I'm talking about every second he's on the floor, they're trying to get him involved. And then it's like, if you're not good on the ball, then you got to at least be half decent off the ball. And he's not a good off the ball defender either. He gets lost. He gives up on plays. It's like he saves all of his energy just for that offense, which can be hard when your best player is doing that. It kind of starts at the top. You see Jaylen Brown and Tatum play on both sides of the ball, man. You got to do that. All the greatest players do, especially in the finals, right?
Yeah.
And I understand Luka has a lot on his shoulders, more than Jaylen Brown and Tatum do, because they got a lot of help around them. Luka has the amount of pressure on his shoulders every night to play at such a high level just for his team to be competitive. It's probably more than anybody else in the NBA other than Nikola. So I don't expect him to be a great defender, but I got a story. When I played for the Clippers, I played with a teammate, Jamal Crawford. He was, reigning sixth man of the year 3 times in a row. We brought him in the game just to do one thing, and that's to get buckets, right? And that's what he did. He wasn't a good defender, but he could score. And I remember one time we were having a game and he wasn't playing great defense, and my father called a timeout, and we're in the huddle, and he looks at Jamal, and he goes, Jamal, I'm not asking you to be a great defender. I'm just asking you to try. And he looks at him and he goes, I got you. Because he even knew. He's like, all right, I know I could do a little bit more. I could put a little bit more energy towards this. I don't know if it's a conditioning thing with Luka. I don't know if it's something that he just has to buy into and want. There's a little bit of vulnerability there getting targeted like that. You kind of you lose confidence when everyone's trying to go at you. He needs to work out in the summer, whether it's lateral movements on the beach, doing slides, doing one-on-one drills where he's only on defense. And then a lot of it's like he just has to want that. And I'm not questioning his want because we all know Luka's a star. But, it could be a lot of those different things. He has to improve slowly. He'll never be a great defender. We just need him to try a little bit more and do something. We saw Steph Curry do it. Steph Curry used to be a bad defender. All he did is get better every year to the point where, he's not a great defender, but he's not a liability now. He can play some defense. He's got good hands. So, we've seen this with our stars. They picked on Tatum a long time, too. And now look where he's at. So, yeah.
I think Jamal Crawford brought that up when he was talking to us a couple weeks ago, actually. He said defense wasn't really my thing because we're talking about Milwaukee at the time.
Yep.
I think he wasn't really my thing.
Yeah.
The effort, though, is that the reason why the Celtics defense is so good? Is just because max effort from everybody? That's buy-in? Is that what that is? And it's also conditioning, obviously. You talk about Luka, and a couple people have brought up his conditioning. It's like, we're late in the year now.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? This is the NBA Finals. This is a lot. That's why what LeBron was able to do for 12, 13 years straight. Yep. It's like the most amount of basketball, and you have all eyes on you every night, too. So it's like you have to perform 82, then you got to go through best of 7 series, 3 or 4 of them to get to the finals. It's like a lot of basketball. Is that something that Luka obviously he can work on it, but that seems to be a threat that a lot of people are saying about Luka. Conditioning. Go ahead.
And it's weird because he plays so much basketball, Pat. He's going to play in the national team again this summer. He plays year round because as soon as he gets done with the NBA, he's always going back home and playing for his national team. So he's always playing. So I don't know if it's a conditioning thing. I know his body looks like he's out of shape, but they say the same thing about Nikola, man. Those guys aren't out of shape. I think their just body looks like that. I think there's been seasons where Luka's come into camp out of shape, but like you said, he's in the finals. He's got to be in shape.
Austin, body looks like what? What does it look like, buddy?
He doesn't have a shredded, for instance, we look at LeBron or Jaylen Brown or Tatum. They're 6'8" and lanky and long and wiry and very muscular. Where Luka's a little bit more a bigger, heavier set body, but it works for him. It's part of his game. You know what I mean?
You're saying he's a fat white guy.
I see what you're doing.
I didn't do it. That's what you said.
Won't get me.
We are sitting right
here.
We all heard it.
I wouldn't even say that. I'm a Celtics fan.
Yeah, obviously you wouldn't. What a nice guy this is. No, but that is what all the basketball people are saying. They're saying they keep bringing
that up. It's weird.
About Luka. Yeah, I don't know. And if it is the case,
I don't think it's conditioning.
Go ahead.
I don't think it's conditioning. I don't think it's a thing where he's like not in shape at this point. He's in the finals. He's in shape. He's definitely banged up.
Yeah, I think he's hurt, and there's a lot of eyes every night, and he has the ball a lot, and you're running back and forth. And JaVale McGee, who was awesome on the show, he said, like, yeah, everybody knows that, like, you have some guys that are going to be like that. Like, you're going to get, like you said, Jamal Crawford.
Yep.
Like, there's a lot of people who are like, we're going to save energy on this side of the court so that I can be a productive member of the team on that end of the court. And, like, that helps the team. That makes the team better. I guess that is a style, but in the finals, it just can't take place. I'm interested to see what he does.
There's like a fine line. There's a fine line. There's a fine line between, like, not, saving all your energy for offense and just, like, not playing any defense. Like, you can't hide versus Boston. They're too good. Every player on the floor can score. So, like, that's just not going to work versus a high-level team like Boston. He's got to defend a little bit.
Tatum's going to go for, Luka's going to go for like 50 tonight after everything and everything. They had him sit down with Malika. He sat down. He didn't have to. He got to sit down with Malika, and he did like I apologize to my team. Like a whole
same face deal.
It was like a full-on, in the middle of a series, you're down 3-0.
I messed up.
Doing
yeah.
But like that I think for some people, and I don't know Luka well enough, that type of shit is something that, like, he'll come out and go bananas tonight. There's a chance.
Yeah, averages the most points in elimination games in the history of the NBA, 35.
Okay, so, and he's got bombs being drunk. It's fat white guy, Austin Rivers.
Yeah, exactly. He hears it.
Oh, Jesus, don't start, please.
Got a picture of Austin.
I'm not, Luka, I'm with you. I'm on your side, brothers. Don't let Pat come between us.
Okay.
Don't you dare.
I'm driving a wedge from Classic Media. Ty has a question for you, Austin.
Austin, speaking of Luka, obviously another big story, and we talked to JaVale McGee about this yesterday. His incessant bitching to the referees. Obviously, like star players, they kind of just do that because, JaVale said, like, hey, listen, those are the only guys that refs are going to listen to, so that's kind of the way it goes. Everyone does it. And obviously, it's spotlighted a little bit more when they get beat. But do you think he'll be officiated any differently tonight, given all the stuff that happened? I'm not saying the league office would say anything to these guys, but I'm sure they understand, too, like, hey, we don't want one of the faces of the NBA fouling out with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter of a potential elimination game. Like, will anything go into that, or do you think it'll be business as usual with the officiating towards Luka?
They'll definitely officiate him a little bit differently tonight. I think in terms of giving him a little bit more freedom and giving him a little bit more, leeway on defense in terms of not calling fouls, I think they'll give him that. But if we're talking letting him complain like he did last game, they're going to tee him up because he was going crazy last game. I mean, it was every single play down. He was wearing these guys out. I heard from people who were there at the game or even guys on the bench. They're like, yo, it got to the point where, like, how has he not been even teed up once? So I would imagine they're going to be sensitive with the language from Luka tonight. But in terms of the foul calls, I think they're going to let him play. Obviously, they want Luka to play. They want this series going as long as possible. It's good for the NBA. It's good for the ratings. It's good for money. It's good for everything, right? We want Dallas to win. The series so far, 3-0, we don't want to see that in the finals. We want a bloodbath. By the way, if we got robbed of a good finals when Denver lost. When Denver dropped the soap, when Denver lost to Minnesota, we got robbed of a great finals, man.
Drop the ball, yeah. And they dropped the ball, yeah.
But Ann Edwards is Michael Jordan. What do you mean? That was the whole point.
No, it was the West.
Yeah, well, I know, but it's
the West, dude. I was being told all year that the West is going to just wipe the floor. Like, the West is and then the East, other than Boston, everybody sucks. It's like, does everybody suck? Maybe Boston's the only good team. Is Boston? Is Boston the only good? Is that a potential reason?
But Denver plays them well. Denver, it's all about matchups. Denver matched up horrifically with Minnesota, but they would have matched up a lot better with a team like Boston. I promise you. Look at their regular season games. Man. They were unbelievable. They're like some of the best regular season games we had this year was the Denver-Boston games. I'm telling you.
I wish we would have seen it. Instead, we got a potential sweep in the NBA.
50 ball tonight. 50 ball. It's a good call, Pat. Put it on the line.
What, for Luka?
Yeah, 40 or more.
Could you imagine?
For sure.
He goes bananas today.
Oh, yeah, 6 threes.
And then they win, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute.
Series.
Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Is momentum back in Dallas's favor as they travel back to Boston? And we know what Kyrie and Luka are going to do backs against the wall in front of the entire city of Boston. Oh, on the little leprechaun.
Well, his name is Lucky, okay? It's not a little leprechaun. Okay?
It is a little ass leprechaun.
No, his name is leprechauns are small. It's just a normal sized leprechaun, and his name is Lucky.
Easy.
All right?
All right.
Mother, you son of a bitch.
Don't stand on
All right?
Lucky,
Yeah,
don't
what
you?
happened when Kyrie
Yeah,
disrespected?
That's why I brought it up.
Play, man.
That's why I brought it up.
0-13 since he stomped on Lucky. That's what happens.
Well,
you don't
also,
want to disrespect him.
I also saw. Sorry, Lucky. I mean,
Thank
no
you. He
disrespect.
accepts your apology.
Okay, I hope so. I'm sure others won't. But Dallas, I don't think has won since they took that beer out of Luka's hand.
No.
Also true.
I saw that
That's
on
a
the
crazy
internet.
stat.
I don't know if it's real. I saw it on the internet. He had a beer.
Yep.
He was trying to enjoy his life. Boom. It was like drug deal quickness with the hand.
Yep. Yeah.
Out.
He needs a beer.
Casual.
I didn't like that.
Me neither.
I didn't like
With
that.
his pops, too.
Let a man enjoy a beer. He's not drinking like a. He's not taking a shot or anything. He's having just a cold. Come on, man.
All right, I'll see.
I do love Michael Finley, but
He was parched.
Look at Luka too. Luka was.
Pointing at it on the way out.
My
That's what happened here.
My dad flew all the way here.
Go back.
Give the man
He literally points at it. Are you on a sip? Is that what
What's going on?
You're taking
Look, the way he looked at him after he took it from him.
and points.
What are you doing?
What are we? He just
doing?
doesn't.
Can I get a No.
Let the. What did you
You know-
call him? What did you call Luka earlier in this conversation? You said
I don't remember what y'all call him, but
Fat, doughy
I
white
remember
guy.
when
That's what
I,
Let
he
that
said.
fat
I remember-
European
I
have
remember
a
one of
beer.
you
Yeah.
guys saying that.
I
Never
think
take
that's
a
what you
pint
said.
away from a man.
Yeah, why would you?
just don't.
I don't know
that.
what happened there.
In a
I
celebration.
don't know what happened there.
nonetheless.
They just won. Yeah, that was a good. Haven't
You
won.
know, foreigners they can drink at a different level.
Foreigns.
It is yes, like
Whoa.
European players.
Whoa.
What are you guys
Holy
walking in the locker room? We got 4 foreigners around here.
Too many foreigns.
Denver,
Jeez.
we had like 4 foreign players on our team. Yeah, they're foreign players, European.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
do that. We're not.
Sorry, in our sport. it's
Boy,
not.
boy, you guys. Oh my goodness.
Hey, Austin,
Odell Beckham with the reach.
No.
It is crazy. Yes, way back. Way back.
we're trying.
Come on
dude.
now.
Hey, we're trying to bring you down to our level.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You know what
How
I mean?
about this? Why don't you guys go out to a bar with Nikola Jokic and his 2 brothers and see how much you can keep up with them?
The answer is no. I saw
I just
them.
want to see it.
If we're going out with them, we're starting fights, brother.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a
Talking
drinking
about.
thing. The only time I've seen the Jokic brothers is when Miami game, I think a couple years ago, when they handled business, and then there was another fight almost happened. They showed up,
Yeah, they
and
handled-
immediately it ended. Yeah.
Oh, remember when he punched one of the Jokic brothers punched that guy in the stands? I believe in the playoffs
It was this year, yeah.
yeah, that guy just ate it.
Yeah, he
Dogs.
popped somebody.
And now the end. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. What?
Bang.
What?
Oh,
Changed the guy's
How about the guy
haircut.
going?
The other
Wait,
one-
what,
It's huge.
is that the biggest human of all time? That guy down. He's
that's the thing. They're both 6'11", but they're like obviously they're not basketball players, so they're not in shape. So those guys actually are like
Oh my
beefy 6'10" guys. Like they're
He's got the iron
not a-
jaw.
Yeah. Is that Chris Moutinho?
Is that the guy from UFC that took 1,000 punches to the face from Sugar Sean?
Yeah.
Did you see that guy eat that punch right there? And then he looked back at him and turned around and started watching it again.
Couldn't any harder, you
half
little
right.
bitch? Is that what he said back?
Punch
No,
this
he
guy.
did eat that.
And then what? Okay.
I'm just going to
I'm gonna go get a hot dog.
Keep playing it. Keep playing it. All right, I'm gonna watch the game.
Sit down.
Anyways, the NBA is going to be a sweep in the finals. NHL is as well.
Don't say that.
It's not
Don't
gonna
say
happen.
that. We need something, guys. We need something.
They're gonna get one tonight.
Something.
They're gonna get one tonight. Luka.
I got thick too.
Luka's gonna answer. He will. He always answers the bell when his back's against.
No, the Celtics have already won the
Season
championship.
three.
Celtics
So I
in
don't
three.
get it. I don't get it because I thought you wanted them to win at home. I thought you wanted them to
I
go
do
back home.
want them to
Yeah,
win at
but-
home.
yeah.
But they already won. It's a shame.
They haven't already won yet.
Yeah, they did right down there.
I mean, I want them to win on the road because we lost.
What's the
at home.
offseason look like, Austin? What happens next? We got free agency. Trey Young's going to move, right? That's the big question.
That's one of the questions for sure. I guess, I remember I heard you guys touch upon it one episode. This might be the least boring summer we've had due to the Olympics. So we got that next. Thank God. Because it's a weird time of the year after this. We start trying to search on the media side for something to talk about.
Hold on. We got
the
something.
Olympics coming up.
We got something. Tone's got a question for you.
Yeah, Austin, you played with the guy, and because we do journalism, this show has been reporting for about a month that JJ Redick is a front runner for the Lakers head coaching job. Do you think JJ is a good fit there? And how do veteran players react to a first-time coach that was a player coming in? Does he have to earn their respect, or does everyone respect him already because a lot of them played with him or know of playing with him?
And his podcast is so good.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. They should have a respect for JJ. His age, he is very young. He's a first-year head coach. He doesn't have any coaching experience at any really level. So he's going to get questioned naturally. But I think in terms of the Lakers, it starts at the top, right? If they see LeBron bought in and respecting him, then everybody will fall in line. So I think that hire wouldn't happen unless LeBron obviously wanted it to happen.
I know. We were told LeBron was out of the interview.
Hands off.
This is the Lakers call.
I'm not saying he's making the final call. I just know before they make the final call, there's no way they don't call the best player in the team, because that happens in every other team it happens. So there's no way it doesn't happen for the Los Angeles Lakers with LeBron James, who's historically known for controlling his team, which has led to his success. So I can't hate on that one way or the other. But JJ being hired, LeBron James will have a part to play in that. Just he has to. So will AD. And I think JJ will be a fantastic coach. He has a mind for the game. He's a brainiac. Me and him talk basketball all the time. This dude loves the game, watches it at all different levels, but obviously the NBA, what he covers. And, the question that we all have to find out are his X's and O's and his adjustments that he's able to make, managing rotations, managing egos, managing personalities. These are things that are in the fold of a coach that we can only find out until he gets that experience. But I think JJ will be a great coach. Obviously, Hurley was option A for them, but JJ's a guy that is very talented. They compare this guy to like Pat Riley and stuff. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Who knows?
All right. And then you're the next head coach coming out of the ESPN dormitory.
Boom.
Out of anywhere. Who knows? That'll be something that I.
Do you already have your full pitch deck put together? You already have your full pitch deck together? This is how my team will be run. This is what I'm looking for. This is how I do it. Do you already have that prepared?
Not yet, but I'm already getting into just drawing up plays every single day and covering offenses, figuring out what I like, what I don't like, what I see works, taking from other coaches, because that's how you really become a good coach, is learning from other great coaches. But,
if you need us, we have ideas.
Yeah. Plenty.
We got
Good
if
plays.
you need new plays, we haven't really ever sat down and drew.
Well, what the flea flicker?
Not a bad idea.
That's
I don't know
that's
if you
good
guys are
play.
already playing that or running that. You should.
Bring the elevator play back.
Yep, we need that where two guys stand with their hands like this, like they're an elevator, and then a guy gets in, and then they shuffle down the court.
Yep.
We go right to the penthouse, and then while everybody's distracted by the elevator from the outhouse to the penthouse, somebody slips back door down the stairs.
Boom.
Boom.
Mighty Ducks
I
flying
haven't
V.
tried that one. Mighty Ducks flying V. What do you know about Mighty Ducks?
What do you
Name
know
three
about
characters
Mighty
right
Ducks?
Then
Tread
What do
lightly.
you know about Mighty Ducks?
Don't
Name
even.
three characters.
Tread
Name
lightly,
three
brother.
characters from the movie.
Well, how about the best part?
characters.
There's two of them just right there. I mean, don't even get into this.
We can name
God, you
every
fool.
character.
I was going to say.
Gordon
I can name more than you,
Bombay.
Pat.
You want the line?
I can name more than you, Pat.
No.
Okay, what you just want to name the whole roster of a movie? You know what I learned?
would.
You didn't learn anything from that movie at all because you showed up at football practice and quit in 5 minutes.
Boom.
So I know you didn't learn anything
Don't
from
do
Mighty
that.
Ducks.
You would have never
That's
been
because I
able to
was
play for
committed.
Bombay.
You would have never been able to rotate the stick. You would have never been able to rotate the stick.
Triple Deke would have broke your brain, brother.
Who was
That's what you would have done. That's what you would have done.
Suck
No,
it,
no, no,
cake
no, no,
eater.
no.
The goalie's the shooter. You would have said, "What's goalie?
eater's
I don't even
nuts.
know what the sport is."
Here's nuts.
If we were the Mighty Ducks, you know who I'd be on that team? I'm Charlie Conway.
No,
you're not.
Yeah, right.
You're Goldberg.
Well, I'm Hans.
You're Goldberg.
Okay.
You might be the
You're
cat.
Goldberg.
Yeah.
You got a lot of Guy Germain in you. All right.